A trip back to how it all started. I'm the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. Tonight, the memory of the late Bart Starr will radiate through tonight's proceedings. It's a rematch of the very first Super Bowl ever played between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Wisconsin. Standing by, our Sunday night team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a beautiful night for football here in the Midwest as we are at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes now in his third season in the league, leading the Chiefs onto the field. And, boy, when the Chiefs traded starting quarterback Alex Smith before 2018, a lot of people were wondering how good Patrick Mahomes could be, and he showed the entire league how good he could be, racking up over 5,000 yards and tied for second most passing touchdowns in a season with 50 of them. And he was handed the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first. The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 7 catches, 75 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes, rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 22, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a first down carry by Jones. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter. But not a whole lot of room there, but there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. The quick slant caught. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air.
He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's it, baby.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it, and a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Number 58. Number 53. Mike 53. We got it.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 right at the 20. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 16, Mahomes caught here by Bell. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now McCoy. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, it's Mahomes. He finds McCoy. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And the kick by Butker is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. That's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Now Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest. And a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
That's it, baby. We got one.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
Rodgers again now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the boom. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Mahomes now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. This is caught by Robinson.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Mahomes going to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards out of it. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Throwing now is Mahomes. This is caught. Watkins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
That's it, huh? Good work, boy. Let's go.
3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, we want to remind you that coming up tomorrow night on Monday Night Football, we have a couple of throwback heavyweights of the AFC from the 1970s, the Dolphins and the Steelers from Heinz Field. Kickoff at 8:15 Eastern Time. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. There's the first NFL catch for the former Georgia Bulldog, Mecole Hardman. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Now here's Mahomes. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check, butt set. Check, butt set. Keep 15. Keep 15.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Mahomes now After the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Kelsey, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship between he and Pat Mahomes off the field. Very good friends, attended a bunch of high-profile sporting events together in the offseason, and that chemistry, it certainly shows on the field. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first, this one from 38. Butker's kick here is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 20-16 was your final score. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson strong in the victory as his guys up their mark to 6-2 on the year. And finally, on Monday Night Football, 2 of the super teams of the 1970s back at it. Dolphins and Steelers from Heinz Field to wrap up Week 8. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So that'll back him up 5. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, They've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the pass to Grant, and he's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Rodgers now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. This is Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Hitchens, second in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things. Kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Jones. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Snap comes at 1. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Flush to it, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. He stepped right up like a pro.
Let's go.
And out come the Chiefs now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now McCoy. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's McCoy. Yeah, McCoy is going to be stopped up short. He didn't get it. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Taken in at the 11. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's complete to Robinson. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This for his running back, McCoy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mahomes now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range, but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Let's go. Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now Jones. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still third down.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long.
Hey, you got three.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The ball carried by the wide receiver. He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Packers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. That's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there was another 1st down run right there.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. The quick slant caught. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And that'll set him back 5.
Still second down.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Now Mahomes. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun, Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Back to throw, Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Here we go, here we go.
On third down, here's Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Come on, baby.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught, Kelsey, left side. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was looking again for Kelsey there on that play. That'll bring up second down.
Makes it second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's second and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Mahomes to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one covers 29 yards, first down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Green Bay, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4